Hi everyone, welcome back to Warnaful World. I'm Justine and today we are diving into the Rumpelstiltskin page from one of my favorite coloring books, Dark Fairytales by Kerby Rosanes. The illustration is intense, fiery and full of details, and I can't wait to show you how I brought it to life. To set the tone, I'm starting with an eerie moss green background. You'll see a bit of darkening process here, and I've included the full list of the pastel and pencils I used. The rest of the background was mostly slow layering and blending, so I didn't film every moment, but this gives you everything you need to recreate that old enchanted look. For her face, I wanted a more realistic look, so I softened the original shadow lines from the illustration. I used white and cream to cover the printed shadows because I wanted the light to come from the left from the fire instead of the right. This lets me rebuild the shading in a way that matched the lighting in the scene and gave her a softer, more lifelike expression. I started with the pastel base for the hair so I could get a sense of how the light flows through the piece. It helps me understand how the face should look in relation to the flames. We'll come back to the hair later. I just needed that foundation in place before moving forward. Now we are back to the face. I'm adding the shadows gradually around the inner corner of her eyes, her nose, neck, and along the hairline. I'm blending everything in peach and cream pencils as we go, so the transition stays soft. For her eyes, I'm using a mix of blues, purples, and a bit of dark grey to give them that magical contrast. I wanted her eyes to feel bright and expressive against all the warm tones. And to bring the warmth from her fiery hair back into her skin, I'm layering some orangey reds into her cheeks and around the highlights. It gives her that glowing, fire-lit look. As for the hair, layering warm reds and oranges and tucking in those deep dark pockets before lifting everything with yellows makes the hair feel like it's drifting upwards from the flame. Now we are moving on to the armor. I'm building it up slowly with layers of cool blues, purples and deep tones to shape the shadows. We are keeping the strokes soft so the armor feels smooth and slightly reflective. As the layer builds, the curves and the details starts to come forward, giving it that sculpted look. The real trick to making armor feels like metal is pushing those deep shadows into the curves and the grooves. That's what makes it look forged instead of flat. For Rumpelstiltskin, I'm starting with the blues to build the core of the flame, and then layering the red and the oranges to give it that magical enchanted glow. The contrast between the warm and the cool tones helps the fire feel alive, like it's shifting and moving around him. As the color builds up, you can see how the blue flames wrap around his silhouette and creates that bright, intense light source. This part is important because the glow from this fire is what's going to reflect across her armor later. So getting the colors and intensity right here sets the stage for everything else. Moving on to the candles, for these, I'm keeping the layers really soft, starting with the yellows to build that gentle inner glow, and then warming the bases with ochres and a touch of warm grey and greens to give the candle a little depth. As the colour builds up, you can see the flame starts to brighten the whole scene. Now finally returning to the armour, I wanted it to feel like rainbow obsidian, that deep volcanic darkness that only reveals its colour when the light hits just right. So I'm starting with the blacks and the deep purples to carve out the shadows, and then layering in those subtle reds, blues and warm tones that shimmer through the surface. I keep the pressure soft at first, letting the colour blend into the darkness, and then slowly build up the contrast so the armour starts to feel polished and glassy, like something forged from cool lava. As the layer builds, you can see those hidden colours catching the light, giving her armour this quiet, powerful glow. For the crown, I wanted it to feel like the coolest part of her fire, that deep enchanted blue that sits right at the edge of the flame. So I'm layering in these rich blues, starting with darker tones to carve out the shape, and then slowly building up the brighter shades so that the metal starts to look like it's catching the cool edge of the flame. Once the colors are down, I go in with the white gel pens to hit the brightest points. Just tiny touches, but they make the whole crown comes alive. And that's the last detail. Everything is finally in place. Now she's ready. I love how the whole page turned out. Her fiery hair feels alive, and the blue crown really pops against all that heat. The blue flame in her palm was the right choice too. Rumpelstiltskin almost melts into it with those red orangey highlights making him glow inside the fire. And the armour, the reflections from the flame, makes it feel like molten obsidian catching shifting lights. I added a few tiny sparks at the end to give the whole page a little movement, like the magic is still in the air. Thank you for watching and sharing this moment with me. If you'd like to see more pages like this, feel free to like or subscribe, and let me know which detail caught your eye in the comments. See you in the next video. Bye!